There is a door. Millions read Rumi, yet almost no one enters. Because the key was never poetry.
Most of us grow up believing love is an exchange. We look for someone to complete us, someone to hold, and someone to call ours, like two individual stars orbiting each other in the dark, separated by a distinct line. But in the 13th century, the great mystic poet Rumi wrote a monumental text called the Masnavi. It contains a story that dismantles the traditional mechanics of romantic union. The story begins with a seeker who has spent years in exile, enduring hunger and exhaustion, all to reach the doorstep of his beloved. Finally, he arrives at the house he has dreamed of for a lifetime. This story proves that true connection is not about bringing two people together. It requires the total destruction of the number two. The exhausted lover steps up to the doorway and knocks. From inside the house, a sweet, resonant voice calls out, "Who is at the door?" Thinking of his long journey and his years of tears, the man answers with confidence, "It is I, your lover." A heavy silence falls over the house. Then the voice replies, "Go away. There is no room at this table for the raw. The fire of absence must cook you first." This man spent years in agony and offered every sacrifice he possessed. Why would that level of devotion result in a locked door? To understand the rejection, we must examine Sufi psychology, specifically the nefs, or human ego. This rigid barrier separates us from truth. Even in deep devotion, the lover's answer, "It is I," was a subtle demand to validate his own sacrifice and unique identity. By standing on the porch and declaring his own presence, the man maintained a strict, unyielding boundary between the seeker and the sought. This violates the logic of Rumi's universe. In the realm of absolute truth, two distinct, separate entities cannot occupy a space meant for one. Rumi illustrates this physical impossibility through a needle. A thread can never pass through the eye if split into two strands. It must be singular. As long as you bring a separate eye to the door of unity, the mechanics of reality ensure that the door remains shut. In Rumi's framework, this rejection functions as a clinical intervention for the lover's ego. The beloved is not punishing the lover, but providing the necessary condition for his transformation. The lover returns to the wilderness for an entire year. He wanders the earth, consumed by the pain of being separated from the only thing he values. Rumi outlines this process in 3 stages. I was raw, I was cooked, I was burned. The intense heat of absence is designed to incinerate the lover's sense of individual importance. It works like an alchemical furnace. When crude copper is thrown into the fire, it isn't merely improved, it is liquefied. The metal must surrender its copperness entirely before the alchemist can reveal the gold hidden within. Over 12 months, the lover's past titles, his pride, and his self-pity are ground into dust. He is learning the difficult art of becoming absolutely nothing. This state of nothingness is the requirement for entry. The agony of separation is the tool used to strip away the eye that was blocking the door. After a year of burning, the lover returns. He stands before the same wooden door, but he is no longer the man who left. He knocks with a quiet, total surrender. Once again, the voice from within asks, "Who is at the door?" The lover doesn't say, "It is I." The fire has finished its work. He looks at the door and whispers, "O beloved, it is you at the door." Upon hearing this truth, the heavy iron locks click open, and the door swings wide. The beloved gives the final instruction, "Enter, for you are me." There is no room for 2 eyes in this house. This is fana, or annihilation. Unity is the complete eclipse of individual boundaries into an infinite reality. When the eye is removed, the only consciousness that remains is that of the beloved. This challenges us to stop seeking a love that merely validates our current identity or fits into our existing life. Rumi suggests that real love is a sledgehammer. The ruinous hut of the separate self violently collapses into rubble so that an infinite, divine palace can be revealed in its place. The fire of separation and the dissolving of the ego are not obstacles to love. They are the path. When you finally drop the I at the door of existence, you realize the ultimate conclusion of Rumi's journey. The one you have been searching for has been the one looking out through your own eyes the entire time.
If the door remains locked, perhaps it is not because the door is closed, but because we are still trying to open it with the wrong key. Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and above all, keep listening.